Everything in his game a little off. Because a Real Madrid player has gone down injured at the other end of the field. It might have been Lucas Vazquez, but referee not liking what he's seen from Suarez.
Carvajal's been in spiky humour tonight as well, hasn't he?
Certainly has. 15 years he's been linked to Real Madrid from the boys club up to the senior squad. Won't be enjoying losing to Barcelona right now.
How well has Zidane done? You often wonder, I mean, everyone has him amongst their favourite players ever. And you just wonder then when they go in as a manager, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But he's in that select group of, is it 7 now, who've won the European Cup as player, as manager. And that goal he scored at Hampden Park in 2002 against Leverkusen, one of the great European Cup final goals. He's assistant to Ancelotti back in 2014, and then winning it as the main man himself. Just if he's there in the dugout, the respect he must command.
Absolutely, World Player of the Year 3 times. He's done everything. He's been the most expensive player in the world as well, so he knows how to deal with that kind of pressure.
How did his son end up as a goalkeeper?
He's got a few of them.
Lucas on the bench tonight. Isco tangling with Sergio Roberto. There is Bale, tried to let it run through. It was a hefty enough challenge from Alex Vidal. Not happy to hear the whistle. Just have to be careful not to manhandle the official too much, and he's not standing for it. A bump with Rakitic, who shoves him away. And this has been a competitive game. I think the yellow cards would have been out here.
Again, the reaction of the Barca players, though, shows you that this is no ordinary game. The referee's being overly patient here, I think.
You just can't do this. And Rakitic is having another go. He's persisting here. Just wonder. Spanish lip reading mightn't be great if that is not Rakitic is speaking. Maybe it's English, but just wonder if he's saying you don't put your hands on me. But I think Rakitic was the one who reacted first, and the referee, as you said, he's remaining very patient. Nelson Semedo on for Alex Vidal in the right back position. A few more changes on the way as well. Denis Suarez, you can see down there, is going to come on, and Thomas Vermaelen.
I'm sure the change of Vidal was planned, but he was involved in that flashpoint, and I wonder was it good timing to take him off.
And the fans not really feeling the departure of Messi and Suarez here. It's Denis Suarez and Paco Alcacer to come on in their place, but they got over an hour. Ernesto Valverde, all of these things, barring injuries, of course, planned to the minute by the respective staff. Searching ball out to the far side, lovely take from Lucas Vazquez. Now looks to provide with quality, headed away by Piqué. Kovacic, plenty of movement on his right, fancied it. He's got a lovely goal in the first half, Mateo Kovacic. Couldn't have another there.
Yeah, he's had a very good tournament. Still only 23. Left Inter Milan in 2015 because they were forced to sell him due to financial fair play regulations.
Well, here's an opportunity. Alcacer with a touch. Well, he had that season last season coming in from Valencia where the goals just wouldn't come. They spent 30 million. Luis Enrique also always said, look, he will score. Didn't manage to score until December. Maybe one of those where he knew he wasn't going to be in the starting 11 when the chances came. He was snatching at them a little bit anxious to try and justify the price tag and justify the big move to Barcelona.
I think for me that was a major difference between the sides. You look at the likes of Kovacic, Asensio, Vazquez all played their role for Real Madrid last season.
Alcacer for Jordi Alba, and Neymar takes over. Space at a premium, and Jordi Alba disappointed that was taken away from him.
You compare Real Madrid squad players to Barcelona's Andre Gomes. A bit of a flop so far.
Well, that for me was the one last season that said transfer fees are gone nuts. They're 56 million. Admittedly young and potential there, but not a game breaker. Andre Gomes, it was huge money. Dangerous ball in. Vermaelen almost with his first touch with a side of goal.
And it's the same for Alcácer. You know, it's a young player, but lots of money and lots of pressure for those young players to deal with. They have to contribute more. It can't just be all about the 11, 12 or 13 top Barcelona players.
Bale, if he can get this under control. Angle is tight. Citizen ensured he wasn't going to be beaten at his near post. They're testing Nelson Semedo early here.
We all know what Gareth Bale is capable of. We'll see it a bit more often in this tournament. Lovely first touch and trying to slide it through the legs.
He's unlucky here, almost pulled it off Gareth Bale from a very tight angle. Nelson Semedo, we see him listed on the team sheet as Nelsinho as well, which always makes you wonder. Isco to whip it in, Piqué to head it away, but Semedo in his defence, it took him a little while to make the breakthrough with Maxi Pereira at Benfica, and then had a really bad injury just as he was getting into the side. And Barcelona saw enough to try and move for him to solve this right-back position.
Gerard Deulofeu back at the club as well. It's the interesting thing about the Neymar transfer, if it does happen, what the domino effect will be. All those transfers that have been talked about, Mbappe leaving Monaco, Coutinho maybe to Barcelona, be a big change to the landscape.
I'm sure Mr. Mendes will sort it out pretty soon, won't he? Get things moving. As you said, one transfer can trigger so many others.
Well, maybe Verratti might go to Barcelona then. Maybe that will be part of the deal.
The Mbappe one is fascinating. He was so good last season and still so young.
I've seen him a couple of times in pre-season. I'm telling you, he's going to be very good this season as well.
When you look at Karim Benzema, I mean, he's been a fantastic servant, but since his career best season, that was back in 11-12. Maybe they haven't needed as many goals from him when Ronaldo does what Ronaldo does, but just a young player coming in. And Mbappe, he just carries himself with that confidence. I feel that maybe Real Madrid would be a good fit for him as well. But we'll wait and see.
I think if anyone's under threat from Mbappe's transfer, it would be Gareth Bale maybe. Just because he has had his injury problems as well.
There's Denis Suarez. One of those buyback options that Barcelona exercised. A good loan period at Villarreal, got to later stages of the Europa League, beaten by Liverpool. Lucas Vázquez puts it into the penalty area. Benzema seen off by Piqué.
Just at the other end of the field, there was a lovely bit of skill from Marcelo in a tight corner. And it's been noticeable. The crowds here really appreciate that kind of magic. A chance for them to see their heroes in action, and I've said it before, I think the players can only respond to this kind of encouragement.
Brilliant from Denis Suarez, but he's move brought to an end by Jesus Vallejo. Here is Isco. Sets up Gareth Bale, Benzema back post, deflection on that. Had Citizen worried just for a moment in terms of where that ball was in relation to the left-hand post.
Yeah, Bale getting into it a lot more now.
Isco and Bale maybe battling for that one position. Nacho keeps it in the danger area. And then Piqué's clearance off Nacho and behind for a goal kick. Very different, and I guess maybe Zidane, depending on the game or how he wants to use them. Gareth Bale, direct, strong runner, wants to go around the outside. Isco, more technical, likes to play more on the inside. Did you have a preference?
I think both of them, or anyone in this Real Madrid team, will play better when Cristiano Ronaldo is on the pitch. And he's due back ahead of their first competitive game on August 8th.
Neymar. And Suarez just get it under control. He's got options on the inside. Alcacer was waiting for it. Suarez again, lovely turn away from Marcelo. Beating him all ends up there.
I wasn't dodging the question though. I think Isco's underrated, and Gareth Bale at times can live off his reputation, but I just think injuries have really disrupted him, and if he gets a good season, it'll be really important again for Real Madrid if he gets an injury-free season, that is.
Plus you'd imagine from on high as well, there is the pressure to play a Gareth Bale when you pay that money to bring him in. As you said, Isco maybe suffers a little bit for not being one of the Galacticos, as it were. Real Madrid with a man down. Carvajal has had a very eventful evening. You've seen the young right back, Ashraf Hakimi, Madrid born, but the Moroccan international gets some minutes on this tour as well. You've seen him, Mark?
He was excellent against Manchester United, really, really good. He changed the flow of that game. Not as effective against Manchester City. He came in a difficult situation. Well, already a couple of goals down. And you can just see the enthusiasm. A bit like Phil Foden, the 17-year-old from Manchester City. Just willing to try things, and if it doesn't work, they go again. Just positive in everything they do.
Guardiola's praise was, well, it was fulsome, wasn't it?
I think it's justified. Foden was really, really good. That first game against Manchester United, a difficult one for him. He was brilliant.
And we will be seeing some of these Real Madrid youngsters now who are going to get about 20 minutes. Changes also on the Barcelona side. Just saw Javier Mascherano come on a moment ago. Lucas Digne for Jordi Alba in the left back position. Digne will be looking to pressurise Alba. Did get his opportunities last season when Alba had the hamstring injury. Carlos Alenya, the well-regarded young midfielder, on for Barcelona. Sergei Samper as well. And it looks like Arda Turan, the Turkish veteran, will get some minutes as well.
That's the thing about Barcelona that I was trying to say. Spent a lot of money last season. Dean, another one who came in and didn't really contribute as much as he might have. 16.5 million euro.
He's got to try and stake a claim for the left back for France as well, doesn't he? With Kurzawa and Mendy and Evra and so on and so forth. They've got a few.
I think Benjamin Mendy will hold that role for the World Cup.
So all change for the last 16 minutes plus stoppage time here. Arda gets his first touch. Dani Ceballos, who you mentioned earlier on, also into the action, this highly touted young midfielder. Tidied up by Theo Hernandez. Young Frenchman. His brother Lucas has played in a Champions League final. Through the ranks at Atletico Madrid, both born in Marseille when their dad Jean-Francois was playing there, but these are the minutes that worry the managers, or the moments that worry the managers when the injuries come.
That's very bad news for the World Cup in Spain.
Then Suarez digs. No way through for Lucas Vazquez, but fouled. Mascherano, who did finally score for Real Madrid. Penalty against Osasuna back in April. It's 1 goal in 322 appearances now since his arrival for Liverpool. When you've got that 3 up the other end, when you don't really need to be contributing in terms of goals. Here's Isco! A super effort, and Cillessen plunging to his left-hand side. It's a terrific save.
Yeah, a bit of a lull in the game with all those changes. The crowd nearly brought back to life by Isco. Went close actually with a similar effort against Manchester City in the first half, when it was 0-0 in that game.
As we were saying in the first half of when he came on, those are the areas where he really can come alive. Here he is again, eyes on it all the way. There was a game towards the end of last season, was it maybe Sporting Gijón away? He just came up with a late winner. And just some of the skills, some of the ability, some of the technical skills he showed in that game were just a joy to watch. Semedo. Press back, but winning the throw.
He got 10 league goals last season, Isco. There's 1 goal in the Champions League. Sealed the deal for Real Madrid in the semi-final against Atletico Madrid.
And it showed someone else, rather than Ronaldo, would score in those games as well. I'm sure Ronaldo, wherever he is keeping an eye on this. So his teammates are doing. Wicked cross whipped in by Hakimi. And Barcelona playing their way out of a tight situation. Arda pinned by Vallejo, but a bit too close. Intentions. Vallejo and Arda.
Arda Turan with just club football to concentrate on now. 97 caps for Turkey. He had an altercation with the journalist.
On the flight, wasn't it?
Yeah. After a 0-0 draw in Macedonia.
You've got to keep the journalists and the players separate, Mark, haven't you?
Well, I think we learned some harsh lessons in Ireland about that. 2002 World Cup, there was 1 or 2 issues. Apparently Turan has no regrets. He's retired. That's it. I'm not putting up with it anymore, whatever happens.
There's no one backing down in that argument. He's a terrific player as a young player with Galatasaray. Handed the armband there at a young age. Had a very good career for himself, Arda Turan. Closing on, but he won't reach 100 caps now, as you said. He's on 97, unless he performs a U-turn.
It's good news for Barcelona if he rediscovers some of his previous form. Hasn't really been at his best since moving from Atletico Madrid.
He's an interesting one as well, isn't he, in terms of the fit with Barcelona and where he plays. Not a pacey player, and again a tricky player. Vazquez dancing in off that right-hand side, sets up Ceballos! Oh, just for a moment he was dreaming top corner, and grabbing the headlines, Dani Ceballos. An arcing effort that had Cillessen certainly worried here.
Yeah, I thought that was in. Smashed off the boards at the back as well. Hit with plenty of power. He was the star man for Spain at the European Championships at under-21 level in the summer.
What a goal that would have been. They brought him in on a 6-year contract from Real Betis. Seasoned under-21 international, under-19 winner with Vallejo a couple of years ago.
And lots of clubs in for him. He told his agents Real Madrid were the only one he wanted to negotiate with, because Zinedine Zidane was his idol growing up.
There's lots of players in that boat, isn't there? But not many actually get to make that move. You would love to see Zidane on the training pitch, wouldn't you?
still got it, I'm sure.
Denis Suarez to take the corner. Real can smuggle it clear. There's Alenia. Semedo. Back out to Suarez again. Lovely touch on the inside. Away from Borja Mayoral. Breaks kindly. Oh, and a big deflection on the effort of Carlos Alenia. He's come all the way up through the ranks, joined the club as an 8-year-old, has captained the underage sides all the way up as well. Always a good sign of not just ability but of character in a player.
A good strike this, closed down quickly by Vallejo and Nacho. Get the sense the crowd want at least one more goal before the end.
Suarez on corner kick duties again, headed away by Marcos Llorente. Sergio Roberto, have to go back to Dean. And across to Mascherano. Valverde with the call to make it centre half as well. You'd imagine Piqué will be the staple, the constant. And then do you go for Mascherano or do you go for the natural left-sided option that Umtiti provides?
It's a good problem to have. Mascherano's been around a long time, but only turned 33 in June, so still at least another year or two left.
Look at his international record as well. I think he's only 7 behind Zanetti now at this stage.
6 caps, I think it is. Not bad.
Might prompt Zanetti out of retirement if he starts getting much closer.
I'm sure he'd trade that though for a World Cup winners medal.
That's the one when you look at the players that Argentina have. This amazing golden generation. They've got to get it done, don't they?
To get there first. Still a bit of work for Argentina to do in qualifying.
And South American qualifying is fraught with danger. Was it Uruguay a few seasons ago had to go into the playoffs against New Zealand? Not exactly what you want at the end of a grueling campaign. Alenia, just watching him, another who just plays with his head up all the time. Lovely change of direction from Sergei Samper. Again, too much on the pass out to that left-hand side.
I'm just thinking it's been a great tour for Ernesto Valverde. Thanks to Messi, Suarez,